again. The good old story of import top laner versus the good old school Brazilian talent in FNB. As we head to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen, it's game 2.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, Lithy, right? You mentioned Wiser, right? The Korean import. The story of Pain Gaming historically, not historically, but recently, in these last 2 splits has just been like, oh, Wiser's had a really good game. Oh, Wiser was playing really, really well. It's no surprise that he's consistently had 33% of the damage share for Pain Gaming. This guy is pumping out and is responsible for 1/3 of the damage on his team. And if these games go a little bit differently, if bot lane doesn't lose as hard, if Dinkato can perform, then yeah, you're right. Pain Gaming has a very strong avenue to take this game here. We did both predict 3-1, and this might be, like you said, that one game that Pain Gaming takes, right? The way they've played these fights have been fantastic, right? Are these the dragon fights? So we'll see. I'm really looking for this jungle matchup and this mid lane matchup coming out from Pain and Furia.
I mean, the W in Wiser stands for winning, right? At least, usually. But for now, it's going to be a red start for Goot. So, pathing topside this time around. Of course, there's vision, so Pain is painfully aware of what is going on in the enemy jungle. And on the other side, we do have Karaoke starting on that blue side again, so maybe we can see some top skirmishes early on this game. But especially this bot lane, Twitch versus Sivir, is interesting, but the main one to watch, I think this game really is that top lane. Once again, Gwen versus Jax, Wiser versus FMB. Last time around, Wiser with a lot of a better laning phase.
Yeah, and like we said, we highlighted, right? It was 26-7 CS at one point. A lot of pressure was coming on to FNB coming from Karaoke because Goot started that blue side on Viego, but they both start red side. This time around, Pain Gaming knows where Goot has started. They got the vision down onto the red buff here, so they roughly know where he's going to be at throughout the 3-minute mark here. Now, Karaoke opting in for the full clear, and this is just kind of what Sivir does, right? Gets the lane pressure, gets the lane presence, has the priority with the boomerang blade plus bouncing blades, and just able to shove Natuno and Redbird in. Will it be enough, though, Lithy, for them to secure a sizable lead in this bot lane? That's what we're going to have to find out.
It's the big question, but also one of the big things they've been lacking in game 1, right? The priority on bot lane, the ability to rotate for these dragons, for the Herald maybe as well. Oh, and Good, he read Karaoke like a book. He can find him on the entry to his jungle. Immediately needs to flash out. The follow-up with the ward is good. First blood for Furia. And they're going to follow it up with the double into the Swain kill. Wiser in the middle of things, picking one back, gets the double buff onto his Jax. But still, it's 2 kills picked up for Good.
And last split, Lithy, we had the Gui God. This split, we have the Goot God coming out. A nice double kill from Furia here. Some early jungle pressure, staving off any sort of pressure that FNB might face. But wait a minute.
Ooh, damage. Forces the flash from Envy. Beautiful early roam on the first back of Trigo, who actually just used his ghost to get back to lane.
Yep. Ran back to lane here, able to, and that's what we usually see when they take ghosts right this early on. Oh, Redbird though might be in some trouble.
Yep, needs to flash as well. Damage, 2 grand entrances, 2 flashes burned. That's a good quota, if I do say so myself, and I do.
Oh, and a recall stopped as well. Damage putting in all the work right now on this Rakan pick. Sivir Rakan, not a typical lane that you see. I think kind of across the regions, we've seen Sivir paired up with an enchanter, kind of paired up with somebody that can just, increase her damage output into the later state of the game. That's not something that damage can't do, right? Rakan, kind of like the support engage enchanter hybrid, can definitely opt in for an enchanter item if he wants to after he builds either the Shurelias, or he could go in for maybe a little bit more tankier option on the Aegis, the Locket. Rakan has a really, really nice flexible build path here, and I want to see what damage is going to do. But overall, this early game going slightly in the favor of Pain, even after the double kill from Goot.
Yeah, one of the reasons for that is, of course, the double buff on Wiser. That's a dead lane. That's not playable for FNB at the moment because this Jax just shreds the Gwen if he gets a little bit of a lead. And that kill definitely helped. Now his first recall coming in, Sheen, and the second longsword. This is gonna be pain for FNB, quite literally. The big question is gonna be, what can Good do with this advantage he has garnered for himself on the first levels here? And Envy gonna be the target. Grand Entrance connects once again. This time around, there is no flash to be burned, and it is a kill for Pain. Good connects on in. Redbird is around, but can't really connect onto anyone. So they shove the lane, and that's it.
And this is another major advantage of picking Sivir, right? Pain Gaming, just shoving in this Twitch and allowing damage to cause damage across the board, right? He was able to sneak in all the way around on the other side of River and catch Envy out after burning the flash, maybe, 2 minutes prior to that? Really nice play from Pain Gaming here. Really nice movement from Damage. And he's not done, Lithy.
Yeah, looking for that two-man topside play. Trigo in a little bit of a lonely spot right now. Netuno can connect on in. The question is, do they get him? The answer is no. Beautiful flash out. And here we are, 2v3 on the top side. FNB has the ult, has the needlework available, and in comes Envy. Cleans it up for his team as Furia counterplay this 3v2 and turn it into a kill.
Yeah, unfortunately, Damage not sticking to his name. He is playing the support role here, so he's only virtually able to provide CC and a little bit of shield. The moment Envy was able to roam up, get up into there, it was a game set, right, for that fight up in the top lane. They're able to pick up the kill, and Gwen, handily enough, picking it up for himself, able to potentially match some of the pressure and power that Weiser had with that early kill from River. And so far, we've had a pretty even early game. It's looking like a much more competitive game 2 coming out from Pain so far.
Yeah, I love that Pain is orientating themselves a little bit more towards this early aggression style that I was talking about already. It's been so popular in the different regions, and it worked so well for Furia in game 1. They had no other option than to answer in kind, and they are doing it quite well, if I want to say so.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, where do you go from here on out, right? The first dragon still not taken, but it's a Cloud Drake. Who cares about Cloud Drakes?
Yeah, and I've historically said, right, Cloud Drake is the single best dragon to see Lithy, simply because it guarantees another much better soul here. But I think the early dragon, has damage, though.
Yeah, he is not respecting Good at all. This is a level 6 Lee Sin, serving some chicken up for lunch on Envy's silver platter. But in the response from Pain, immediately is pulled. It's going to be the Herald picked up. Beautiful cross-map play.
I love that. They used the fact that Damage got caught out. They saw 3 down there, and they just brought everybody over to Herald. Really nice play from Pain Gaming. Now, Furia, I feel like they should answer with the Cloud Dragon, but instead they're going to opt to just take the chickens away from Karaoke here, not taking the red buff like they did last game. They're trying to get some semblance of pressure into this jungle, but I don't know if this is a fight that they want to take.
Oh, that's a dangerous position. Weiser returning to the top lane. It's going to break this off, but that was a 4v3 fight and an easy collapse for Pain. Nobody had any visions, though, so no action for us to enjoy. But still, it's looking like a very close game. 300 gold advantage for Furia right now, even though they are 2 kills ahead. So overall, we're going to look at the first items coming in for these guys fairly soon. You got the Leeching Lear already on FMB. You got to have the, I'd assume it's another Divine Sundra completed for Weiser. So those mythics should be there. Latest point for that first dragon fight. I'm not sure how much gold Trigo has right now, but there should be a good chunk.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because both of these teams are more than content on scaling, right? You have the Gwen and the Twitch on the side of Furia, and you also have the Jax and the Sivir on the side of Pain Gaming. So if these early games don't have a lot of action, if they're not, getting super, super bloody, both of them are more than content enough to say, you know what, let's scale, let's team fight, let's 5v5 and really show who the better team is at these objectives. Now, the X factor here on Pain side is they do have the Swain, who is a very good drain tank and has opted in for the Imperial Mandate build, which is really, really disgusting in these extended team fights.
Absolutely. Such a power spike that Pain can capitalize on. And immediately, they turn their sights on the first dragon. That Cloud Drake should not be too much of an issue to be picked up, but Furia still has vision on the pit. They did not spot that ward in the corner, so Good in the position to go for a steal. Sonic Wave connects. Redbird already in position to give him a way out. Dragon goes low. Dragon is taken down. Picked up by Pain Gaming, and they just get out without a fight.
Yeah, they get the dragon, get out, clean slate here, not losing anybody. And now we're just going to go back to your regularly scheduled programming, Lithy, with these laning phases as Wukong is taking the back here. Both teams, like he said, just opting in for the scaling war. Although Pain Gaming has been more of the proactive team so far. They've taken the Herald, they've taken the first dragon, they've gotten their win conditions set and ready, right? Let's see if we can try to get this Dragon Soul coming up. But FNB and Wiser,
He's taking some damage, but nothing scary. Ooh. But also interesting, in general, both of these teams always very evenly matched. I mean, the regular season, they went 1-1. The first half of the round robin went Paint's side. Furia winning the second round, even though it was a fairly close matchup. Even surrendered Dragon Soul that game. And if we think back to playoffs in last split, Pain taking this same matchup at the same point in this upper bracket of the playoffs, 3-2. So this is far from over. This is going to be super, super exciting. And we got a great evening of League of Legends here prepared for us. The big question now, though, is Netuno has the Blade of the Ruined King completed. We got the Everfrost on Envy, but they have no objectives to fight over with this advantage.
Yeah, we're hitting that 12 to 15 minute mark when the mythics or the first big items start coming out here, right? And momentarily, like you said, Netuno does have the item advantage. The Bork against essentially the Noon Quiver and Pickaxe here, you have to believe Pain Gaming understands that. And the Herald gets dropped very, very far back here. Again, they're just going to look to pressure this, but if Furia move fast enough,
Good is there as well. Jinquedo drops so low, gets the Demonic Ascension out, and they return the Pain. Shut down goes over the Herald into the turret, and what looked like a surefire kill onto Jinquedo turns into a disaster for Furia. One more for Pain.
And Goot feeling himself just a little bit too much. Thought he could get the execute off with the kick. Maybe we'll show the replay here. But Jinquedo living with pretty much a sliver of health there. If he dies, that Herald play goes Ori. But instead, he lives. The rest of Pain Gaming collapsed. They get the kill, one kill onto Goot. But more importantly, that gold here as Jinquedo is just looking to pressure this wave here and get this thing off. So low they drop. Gets the QRQ, but Karaoke and Damage are here to turn it around. The massive amounts of CC, the massive amounts of damage, and just for safe measure, they bought Trigo up, but it was already a little too late, and they get the charge off, they get the gold off, and Pain Gaming even up the gold once again here. Just really, really solid early game play from both of these teams, but like I said, Pain Gaming has been on the initiative.
Absolutely. They've been driving the game, even though they're not in any sort of position to have a gold lead right now. That's still in the hands of Furia. But we got to look at some of the other carries as well, right? Of course, Netuno is up in CS a little bit, has that 20 CS lead. But same, Wiser in the top lane. 20 CS lead, once again already on that Jax, doing fantastic in this matchup against FNB's Gwen. So this time around, the fights around the mid game, that second, that third dragon that Furia was able to take so decisively in game one, they're going to be so much closer.
Yeah, and the second Herald has spawned here. Goot and the rest of Furia are looking to take it here. They've swapped their bot lane into the mid lane to get more pressure around objectives. FNB has gone to the bot lane to split it out. Same thing with Ari. They're running a pseudo 1-3-1 here. They're just getting farm onto their carries. The calls are completed or will nearly be completed for both Furia and Pain Gaming. Are now FNB potentially
Yeah, FNB actually uses his needlework on the bot lane to kind of push off Karaoke from that gank. They have an opportunity for a Herald play, but at the same time... No, wait, never mind. It was just some purple shimmer around Wukong. I thought he is the Herald. I'm fried. that Herald is being taken by Good right now, though. No contest.
Yeah.
Second Herald goes to Furia. And with that, maybe they can take out that tier 1 top turret, maybe a tier 1 mid. You have some options here for playmaking.
Again, I don't want them to use it early like they did last game, right? Wait for the dragon to spawn or give it a couple seconds. Throw it down 10, 15 seconds before the dragon spawns so that you force Pain Gaming to make a choice. This is the best, in my opinion, use of a second herald that you can have. But instead, they are opting to completely ignore this dragon here. And instead, Furia have sent 3 people to this top side.
You want to trade something back because you know you can take this dragon fight right now. It's going to be the Hextech Drake picked up, Herald placed down in the top lane, and the Ocean Soul on the board from here on out. The big question is going to be, what can Pain do against this assault on the top lane? Because it doesn't look like they're really investing that much resources. It's just in Quado, the charge is going to go off. That's a lot of damage on the tier 2, and Furia is happy with that.
Yeah, and now FNB potentially getting dived here. TP comes out.
Yeah. Already used that Hallowed Mist. Envy there for support, not just emotional. But for the moment, it looks good. Furia slowing the game down and retaining their gold lead.
Yeah, and the argument could have been made there that you let Wiser and Carioca start the dive off and then TP in, potentially turning maybe a 2 for going in for a 2-for-1, right? Getting that kill, but instead they completely deny any effort. Hey, this, you know what, FNB, we're not gonna let you do that. We're not gonna bait you here. But now you look at this Ocean Soul, Lithy, and I see one very solid benefactor from this Ocean Soul on the side of Pain Gaming, a man that may potentially never die if they pick this up, and that's the man in the mid lane.
Absolutely. But just as we talk about it, nothing's happening. Don't you love LOL states in the mid game? No one doing anything because there are no objectives on the map. No one can dive a turret at the moment. So literally just looking at turrets and looking at minions being farmed.
You take the nameplates off. I mean, Lithy, this is LCK right now, right? This is
yes. Usually what happens when I get to cast CBLOL turns into LCK.
Yeah, it turns into LCK. I take these nameplates off. This is high-level LCK gameplay here. I mean, like you said, you want... it's just that's what I'm viewing right now.
You remember season 5, season 6, where LCS, U, and NA were so slow? People started cheering for wards being killed off.
Oh, yeah. We had the live ward chants, right? The pink wards being taken out. We're not there just yet. And you mentioned, right, that you wanted these teams to actually end up going for a more early game. I think you...
fights! We have fights! Shibi, it's finally time! But it's more of a disengage. The follow-up with the Sonic Wave sits, but Good can't really connect. We get a little bit of skirmishing, ults being thrown back and forth. No one gets anything, except for Wiser. He gets a turret. Not even, actually.
He might be able to get it on this second wave here if nobody answers. But just a lot of posturing. Lithy, like I said, all the flashes going down. A lot of these guys just looking to trade some summoner spells. But Wiser is going to pick up this top lane tier 1 for himself. And yeah, I was going to say, you cast or curse them. Now you have to say, I want to see late games so they pick early game next.
Yeah, maybe. We got a TP from Wiser into the Tribush. That's a beautiful flank. FNB already used that needlework as the Jax comes in swinging. It's a kill for Pain Gaming. Finally, we got one. The flash after with the execute. Netuno wins the 1v1 in the mid lane.
And the rat gets his cheese onto Trigo here. The flash E to guarantee the last couple ticks of poison damage onto Trigo. Flash and Ghost used by Trigo for just a flash heal from Netuno here. We're going to see which one is more valuable coming up into this fight. As we see the replay from Netuno, just absolutely opens up the cheese grater onto Trigo here. Takes him out. But now a lot of key flashes are down for this dragon fight. We may see an absolute bloodbath coming into this next objective.
That is exactly what I wanted to interrupt you just before all these fights started off for, because I wanted to talk about all these summoners being down and what that means for the game state going into the next dragon fight, because gold-wise, we are dead even right now.
It's all about execution. It's all about who can engage onto whom. Can Goot get the miracle kick? Can Karaoke get the sneaky engage? This next dragon fight may just determine who wins this game outright.
It may just be the case. Yeah, you got 2 items on Swain. Dinquedo, so far having a fantastic game. Nothing like that first round Azir that we've seen from him. On the other side, you have Envy. On the Void Staff, Everfrost. Some decent damage coming out from the Ahri. Gwen, 1 item. Lee Sin, 1 item. Jax, Wiser. Though, once again, that Hullbreaker completed. Massive pressure point in the side lane for him. And Netuno, still sitting only on that Borg and a little bit of extra.
Yeah, he's got the components, but he would have loved to finish potentially his Kraken Slayer here. He has everything there. Wiser is on the flank. He could potentially get him, but they do see him out here. What will they do? How will Furia play this? Because Pain Gaming have played these dragon fights immaculately so far.
Yeah, even last game, their Drake fighting looked pretty good. FNB on a good flank spot as well, though Wiser wrapping back around to join his team. Drake down to 5k. Envy looking to jump in. Good is the one to watch, though, for the smite. Nice Root comes in with a never move from Dinquedo. The Ahri sits. That's Trigo caught out on the Hunter's pop. They need to pull back their ADC. Chunk down to half. FNB use the needlework, and that's gonna be a dragon gone. It's surrendered. The first Ocean Drake goes over to Furia. And with that, the game further evened out for the team.
Nice play from Envy there. That was simply just an Everfrost EQ onto Trigo, and Trigo chunked down to half, like you said. The moment that happened, they burned on the hunt. They dipped out, and they gave the dragon. Really nice from Furia, just playing the bait and switch game, playing the poke with Ahri, and eventually able to get somebody caught out. And now Netuno has finished his Kraken Slayer. That is a very strong Twitch coming into these next couple fights.
Absolutely. And in the same sentence, Trigo still not able to finish his second item. Is down in CS, doesn't have any kills. So this is solid gold lead. I'd say 400 to 500 gold that Netuno is ahead at the moment, which really is this completed second item. That's gonna be so massive for this Twitch. Looking at the rest of the team though, working up to that chainsword for good. The Void Staff halfway completed for FMB. Hexdrinker completed for Karaoke. So we're slowly but surely approaching this 2-item spike. The question is, where can you actually put this into play? Dragon is down for another 4 minutes. Baron, not really something you can contest right now.
And if Baron was taken from Furia, so hesitantly taken earlier on, there's no way Furia even attempts to start a Baron at all, considering the gold is even here. And you look at the win conditions for Pain Gaming, right? I feel like Wiser on this Jax can be the difference maker for Pain Gaming, can be that monster side lane pressure along with Dinquedo, right? Virtually nobody can really match these two or take them on in a 1v1 just because of the nature of their champions. And so now I ask you, Lithy, what can Furia do on their side? Do they group? Do they 5v5? Netuno's really strong here. I mean, what is the answer for them?
I almost want to say picks. You need to find some picks. You have this amazing just ambush setup with a Twitch that can just stealth into good spots and just ambush someone. We saw the solo kill on Trigo already. And if you get plays like that off, you set yourself up for success for anything else you want to do.
Yeah, and now the soul win condition has been delayed for Pain Gaming, right? Originally, that Ocean Soul, if put into the hands of Pain Gaming, it would have been a nightmare for Furia to deal with. But you've extended this game, you've made it go longer, and we mentioned that both of these teams are more than content on scaling, are more than content on 5v5ing when the time is right. And so overall, Furia has had the better 5v5, I would say, right? Not necessarily outright winning, but just having enough of that slight edge to take the advantage and take some objectives here. Although Pain Gaming has been more proactive, we've gotten to a standstill here. Wiser and Karaoke, though.
Yeah, they found FNB in the bot lane, thought they could go for a pick, but this Gwen is a little bit tanky with the plated steel caps. And in response, Furia looking for some cross-map play on the top side. That turret's still super low from the Hell Charge earlier.
And there's a lot of people sending up here. 4-man strong here. And like you said, that second Herald Charge, we've finally seen it deliver, but now mid lane tier 1 going down for Furia, I think if I'm paying gaming, I'm okay with that trade, right? Tier 2 top lane for a tier
Yeah.
1 mid while mine still stands. I mean, that is just so much pressure in the mid lane able to be put on, right? With the vision, scooting up that vision line. We saw Furia do it last game. I wonder if Pain Gaming can do the same.
Absolutely. But something else we saw last game that we probably need to talk about in this matchup as well, again, is Furia's lack of tempo in the mid game, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
They stalled the Baron for 10 minutes, and they're not looking like they're going for much plays in the mid game this round either.
Yeah, they're going for this IV drip feed kind of composition, right? They're going to slowly drain you, slowly choke you out. And in this meta specifically, that's just not how you play it, right? That is just not what you do. You need to be proactive. You need to be the one forcing plays onto the team. Now, I get it. You have scaling picks, but you have the R. You have the ability to pick people off, like you said, Lithy. And finally, they look like they're going for something.
Yeah, that's dangerous though. Two-man grand entrance on the burst is so good. Damage with the massive plays puts Pain Gaming on the map. Blast Cone away, 3 out of contention. The Vision of the Empire is going to force them out further. 10-second on this Urshan Drake with Envy down for the count. Perfect opportunity for Pain Gaming to move up to Soul Point. And we were just talking about Furia's passive style in the mid game. If they went for some plays, it was the wrong one.
Yeah, I mean, Envy was fishing and he caught something he couldn't handle on his reel. Damage was just hiding in that bush for so long. They burst him out almost so quickly. The dragon gets taken with no contest, and FNB has to just bounce out of here, right? Okay, yeah, he's gone.
Steps away with the
Needlework.
snip, trying to return this damage. Karaoke gets away with the Warrior Trickster. Needlework does so much damage, though. This tier 1 is done. Envy into the back line with a beautiful TP flank. They find a miracle fight. Good gets taken low, but not taken down. And here comes Netuno. The Twitch is ready to rumble. Karaoke goes into the back line, finds the knockup from Redbird and gets taken down. It's 4 quick kills for Furia. How did this happen? The answer is Envy.
Envy with the blink of an eye gets the flank off of the ward near the wolves, it looks like, was able to TP in, gets the massive charm, massive flank, and the rest is history. You see Netuno firing into the backline. Goot got a massive kick onto one of the carries here, and the Baron will not be starting and stopping here. It will simply be being taken away from Furia, and the blink of an eye. We see the replay here. Needlework is taken out. Envy just hiding in this bush, slithering around like Randy Orton here, and they get one. Weiser gets knocked back in. Netuno massively firing into the backline, and Takedo is not strong enough yet. He cannot drain tank his way to victory, and Netuno and the rest of Furia clean Pain Gaming up. A massive turnaround, Lithy.
The pain is written on her face, to say the least. And it's not gonna stop from here on out. Still, it's not too big of an advantage. Envy picked up by Karaoke. The Ari gets taken to the cleaners. Beautiful collapse over the wall. The vision, so important. The tier 1 turret, making it all possible, having taken that earlier. Beautiful return kill by Pain Gaming, and that is going to take a lot of pressure away from this push down mid lane.
Yeah, FNB, though, with these massive mini waves, somebody's going to answer him. It's going to be Dinkato here, potentially with the help of Karaoke. And like you said, losing that Ari is kind of rough, right? It shaves 20 seconds off. It stalls the Baron push a little bit. And as I say that, FNB just simply chopping away at these turrets here, taking it down the tier 2 into the bottom lane. And once Ari spawns back up, we'll see the 1-3-1 potentially being taken. But nobody's willing to answer Weiser at the moment. Are they just going to trade and base race this right now? I doubt it, right?
It would be a tough call for Pain because you have the Ari to answer Weiser in the side lane. In the meantime, you lose all your tier 2 turrets. That's massive standing gold going into the pockets of Furia. But to be fair, it's not the worst case scenario. They trade the tier 2 top side that Weiser was able to pick up. So overall, this Baron power play at the moment only worth about 1k gold. And that's a solid spot to be in, quite honestly.
Yeah, honestly, the damage control coming out from Pain Gaming here, no pun intended. It was really, really good so far, right? 2,000 gold, even with the Baron being taken. Furia cannot really capitalize on it. Ari
Yeah,
forced to split this side lane. I mean, tier 2s are gone on all of Pain Gaming side, but there's a very good avenue for Pain Gaming to take this game still, right? Siver's on 3 items, right? Who
absolutely.
knows if Envy is allowed to get that flank off like he did last time? I mean, this is still a very close game.
Yeah, and I mean, look at Wizo. Once again, Hullbreaker, Frozen Heart, same
Massive.
build from last game, and this time you don't have a double penetration item Draven just completely three-shotting him. So the fights are going to be a lot closer because the gold has been dead even the whole game. You got 2k lead at the moment for Furia, but that doesn't really reflect in terms of items, right? It's really looking that similar. So the big question just going to be from here, how well can these teams fight around the dragon, around the next Baron? 50 seconds on this soul potentially for Pain Gaming.
And the key thing to highlight here is that Pain Gaming across the board, 4 members have their summoner spells up, their flashes, their mobility up. You look on the side of Furia, Flash still down for Envy. Flash is barely coming up, I believe, for Detuno. He might have it if they wait just a little bit longer, but the summoner spell advantage is definitely for Pain Gaming here. Now, do Furia respect Pain Gaming enough? Will they just concede the dragon here? They simply cannot, as the Ocean Soul is coming up, and Dinkato getting collapsed on.
Oh, can't quite catch him though. That's the Spirit Rush burned. But that turret is done for good. There's no stopping Furia, at least on this push. And be a little bit overextended. Dragon spawning right now. Wiser in a perfect position to take this one. It would be the Ocean Soul, but they don't start it. Good. Right in position to collapse on in. And if they can manage to wrap around FMB and Envy still very much on the side, this is still the Dragon fight we wanted to see.
Ooh, but FNB and Envy have the flank angles here. Oh my god, FNB going for a massive flank right now. Will he be there in time, though? The dragon going down.
The dragon is down to 3k. There's the quickness with the grand entrance. Good. CC'd out. Ocean Soul picked up. Didn't quit on the front line. And once again, Netuno coming in hard. The knock-up is good by Karaoke. Is it good enough, though? It is Wiser following up. The kick delivers him out. And here comes the severe Trigo. Got to do nothing in game 1. In game 2, he comes back with a vengeance, with a penta, and with an ace for Pain.
And this could be the end of the game here. Death timers are super long. Redbird is the only one that's going to be up within 20 seconds. But Sivir potentially getting the first win in CBLOL by the hands of Trigo here. And maybe, just maybe, RMC was on to something here as Pain Gaming take their first win in this series. Potentially here. Sivir. Whoa, that was a lot of damage.
We talked about it. This draft looked great.